Hi, I'm Jack. Welcome to Flavorsville. Today we're going to be doing Texas style barbecue beef short ribs. This is one of my favorite things to put on the smoker. I mean, when they're done right, they just truly melt in your mouth. Just fantastic beef flavor. And simple to do, actually. These are going to take 6 to 7 hours for this size. My smoker only goes to 225. And speaking of smokers, I'm just going to be using a very simple bullet smoker. It's an electric smoker. Nothing like the commercial smokers that we used in my restaurant. But hey, it still gets the job done. And again, what this show is all about is showing you how you can do things at home and turn out some great food. So that's what we're going to do today. And we're going to simply start by rubbing the meat with a little bit of cider vinegar. I like to do that because it creates a little tanginess, also moistens the meat so my rub will stick. And this is a very simple rub. We're just going to use some salt, some pepper, and some Body of Complete seasoning. Now, I like to use kosher salt, and I like to use a heavy grind black pepper. So let's get started. First thing we're going to do is just going to take a little bit of our cider vinegar and just rub it into the meat. Now, in my opinion, cider vinegars are not equal. The only thing I use in my barbecue is either White House or Heinz apple cider vinegar. I don't buy the store brands or anything else. They don't have the same flavor. But anyway, we've got that rubbed. So I'm going to dry my hand off a little bit. And we're going to start with the salt. Now the thing about beef is it can take pretty heavy salt. So I'm going to get about a tablespoon of salt, and I'm just going to sprinkle that over the top like so. Get a nice coating. Then I'm going to take my Body of Complete seasoning. Now, if your local grocery store doesn't carry Badia, you can order it on Amazon. Here locally, I can find it at Walmart. But it just is, it's really, I'd say a Cuban seasoning. But boy, it just brings out just great flavor in just about any kind of meat. I've even used it in vegetables. So we're going to get a little nice coating of the complete seasoning on here. And then I'm going to take my pepper. And again, beef can take a lot of pepper. And you want that pepper taste. Beef and pepper just go together. Okay, I'm just going to kind of pat that down. Now I'm going to do the same thing to all the sides, and I even put some seasoning on the bone side. A lot of people don't. So I'm going to go ahead and get the rest of it seasoned, and then I'll meet you at the smoker. Okay, as you can see, this is just a basic bullet smoker. It's electric, nothing fancy. You can see I got my smoking chips soaking in some water over there, and I've got my water pan, which is half water, half apple cider vinegar. So we're gonna get ready and put these ribs on. Okay, I've removed the racks, and I'm going to put my smoking chips on. It's a pretty simple process. Just lay the chips in. Okay, that looks pretty good. We've got the ribs on the rack. As you can see, it's seasoned on all sides. And I've got my water pan down in place. Put another slab of beef ribs on top of the other. I put the short ribs on the bottom rack, and these ribs that are on the top are actually ribs that were cut from a whole prime rib that I bought. So basically what you've got there is ribeye meat, which is extremely flavorful. As I mentioned earlier, this is probably going to be about a 6, maybe 7 hour cook. My smoker only goes to 225. It's pretty much set because it's just an electric smoker. I don't have any way to adjust the temperature. So it's going to take what it's going to take, but we do not want to lift the lid off for at least 5 hours. I mean, because if you're opening the lid, you aren't cooking. So you got to be patient when you're smoking meat. So go have a beer, a Coke, glass of wine, whatever you want, and we're going to come back in about 5 hours. Okay, I brought the ribs in off the smoker because at the 225 temp, these things just aren't getting where I want them to go. But they've already got all the smoke they need. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and wrap these in some pink butcher paper. You can get this on Amazon. It's specifically made for barbecuing. And when you're doing beef, it's really good to wrap them in paper rather than aluminum foil, because the aluminum foil just gets too hot and it has a tendency to make the meat a little soggy. So we're going to go ahead and wrap these in the pink paper. I'm going to set these down to the side. I've already cut the paper, and it's pretty simple. Just like wrapping anything else, I'm just going to lay these ribs in here like so. That's all there is to it. Grab my short ribs, do the same thing. Okay, and I've set my oven to 290 degrees, so I'm just going to put these in and let them cook. Okay, we've taken our ribs out of the oven. Now, this cook did not go as we had planned. But that's okay. Another point of these videos is there's just times you got to improvise. Sometimes things don't work out the way you plan. So that's all I did. My smoker wasn't getting the job done, but yet I know that the smoker did its job as far as the smoking process. So it didn't hurt anything to go ahead and finish them in the oven, because that way I was able to get my temperature where I needed it. So let's see what we got. Okay, so there's our ribs. They're looking pretty nice. Feeling nice and soft to the touch. The true test is to take your thermometer, just kind of go down. Oh yeah, I mean, it's like butter. It's just butter soft. So I think we're good to go. Now normally you need to let these ribs rest for at least 30 minutes. But for this video, I'm going to go ahead and cut them so we can take a look and see what we've got. So there you go. Got a nice big chunk of meat there on top. Now these are the short ribs. Got a nice smoke ring coming around here. See it here as well. So I think we got a pretty tasty product. Now they're way too hot for me to taste right now, so I'm not going to do that on camera. But as you can see, again, things didn't go as we planned, but it still worked out. So never give up. Go with what you got, and chances are very good that you'll turn out with a great product like we did here. So if you like this video, please go ahead and like it and subscribe to my channel. Also leave your comments. As always, I always want to hear what you think about the videos. I want to hear how your cook went, because we're doing all this together. So until next time, get in the kitchen and rock some flavor.